Hello and welcome to another educational video about screen printing by Catspit Productions. Today's video is a tips and advice video on how to set up your flash cure unit on press. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is a little bit about how to set it up in relation to your palette and in relation to a little bit of the rest of your shop so that you have enough space to swing the head away, the flash cure head. Okay, and we're going to talk about distance from the flash cure unit to the palette, how that distance is achieved, and the differences in controlling your flash cure with a flash cure that has a thermostat and one that does not. Okay, so let us rearrange the camera. We're going to move over into a little bit of a cramped situation so that we can show you where my flash cure unit is and show you how it's set up, and I'll give you my tips and advice on how to set it up and how to work with a flash cure unit on a manual rotary textile t-shirt press. Now, it's important to note that I will not go into how you rotate the press on a multicolor job with a flash cure today. That is a whole nother topic for a future video in which we will explore that, and I'll show you how to rotate the palettes and the screens with the flash cure while you're printing on press. But for today, let's start out simple and let's just talk about how to set it up if you were going to just be using it on a fixed station press, or say you're going to just swing your shirts underneath this palette of one color, maybe you're going to double head or something like that. Just the basic how to set it up and use the flash cure video. So let's get started. All right, hello there, way over there. I just wanted to first point out the particular location of my flash cure unit because I am running a 6-color, 6-station rotary t-shirt press. So ideally, on a situation like this, you would want your flash cure to be either in the second position or the third position. I have it in the third position because my oven is too close. And it also is a little bit more comfortable for the printer because the thing puts out a lot of heat. So the third position or print station palette would be an ideal place. So this is 0 point. This is where I stand and print. Then the shirt would rotate here. And then I would print again here. And then I would rotate again. And while I'm printing here, the first shirt I printed is actually underneath the flash cure. Okay, and I'll go into it that much as far as where my flash cure is on my press. And in a future video, we're going to talk about how we actually rotate, the head and the colors and actually use this whole setup properly. Okay, but let's come over to the flash cure and show you a little bit about the setup. All right, first off, let me apologize for the, inconsistent lighting. That's because I'm moving around in a lot of different places that I don't normally shoot. So it's very difficult to control the lighting, so I apologize for that. But anyway, here we are. This is my flash cure unit here, and one of the things I wanted to show you about it over here is that it has the complete ability to swing away from the press and away from the palette. Okay. Pallet's right here. When it's in the flash cure position, it's right there. And so what I can do when I need to stop and take a break, or if I have a problem and I need to fix something without turning off the flash cure, I can actually come over and swing the sucker off, and there's absolutely nothing underneath that area that can catch fire or be a problem. So that's something to consider when you're setting up your flash cure. I think it's a good idea to be able to swing it away from the press and have it be clean, free, and clear of any other objects. Okay? Now, for some of these other parts, we're going to go handheld with my second camera, and what I want to show you first is the main height adjustment on the flash cure unit, because all it is a stand that the flash cure unit's on, and it's one tube sliding inside the other, and it has a knob. And you have to loosen the knob and slide the two poles. So let me show you that close up so you can get an idea of how it is to adjust it purely by height. All right, so the first thing that's going to adjust the control of your flash cure unit, especially for those of you who do not have a thermostat like this one does, is the height control right here. Okay, so this little knob would be loosened, and you can see the whole thing is on a base. So it's plugged in, it's on a base, the base remains fixed, and then you would loosen this knob, and then you're gonna have to hustle this whole unit up in the minor or minute increments that you might need to adjust. That's why having a thermostat can be very helpful, because especially if you're alone, loosening that knob, this whole unit, this whole top portion is pretty heavy. So it can be difficult to manage alone. All right, so for those of you who do not have the fortune of having the thermostat, which we'll take a closer look at in just a second, we'll have to adjust the height between the flash cure heating element itself and the pallet by the knob that we just looked at. Okay, and that is basically going to be your singular control to your flash curing, other than the time that you allow the pallet to stay underneath the flash cure. Now granted, in certain printing scenarios, you have to work with a certain amount of time in order to print, to rotate the shirt. So you have a certain amount of time to deal with. So in many cases, it ends up that you have to adjust you have to fine tune the height to the amount of time that you're allowing the pallet to stay underneath the flash cure unit. Now I don't know if you can notice, but it's funny, it's like I'm in a movie theater. I don't know if you can hear that. As I step around a little bit, there's some spray tack on the floor. It's kind of like being in a movie theater with the gummy floor. All right, so that's going to be it. Everybody who doesn't have a thermostat, you're stuck with pretty much adjusting it with the height to your pallet. Okay, and always make sure that your flash cure heating element is parallel to the pallet. That's going to be critical. Okay, that can really be a problem if it's not parallel. Make sure it's as parallel as possible to the pallet, and that's going to help you out a lot. All right, now let's take a look at the secondary way that you can adjust your flash cure time using the thermostat. Let me get the handheld camera and let's take a close-up look at the thermostat. All right, so here's a little bit of an overview of the whole setup. You can see that I have mine, I don't know, is it like almost 2 inches above the pallet? Which is, maybe relatively high compared to other people. But that's because I can control my heat with the thermostat. So I can turn it on, okay, and I can dial in with the dial where I want to be. The hotter it is, I can be higher off, So the dial actually will help you out a lot in conjunction with the knob. All right, see, so this is something to consider when you buy a flash cure unit, because I'll put it to you this way. I never mess with my height. Okay, I don't have to fuss with the knob. I don't have to fuss with lifting this hot part of the heating element up and down at any point. All I have to do is come over here and adjust my thermostat. I'll turn this off before I burn some pallet tape. All right, anyway, so it's getting a little hot over here. What do you say we set back up in our usual position and we will recap what we've learned today. So before I wrap up, I just wanted to point out one more thing, and that is that the other side of the press, on the other side of the flash cure unit, as you print and rotate, are your cool down stations. So after the shirt is flash cured and it moves to the other 3 positions before it gets back to you, it's cooled down and it's ready to print on again. Okay, so that's the other point that is important to make. So let's just recap what we've learned about working with the flash cure unit. Okay, first of all, you need to adjust the height. If you do not have a thermostat, the only way you can control the temperature is to adjust the height in relation to the pallet. And of course, then your index time or your dwell time. How long are you going to leave that pallet under the flash cure? So those two factors will determine the height and the time together combined, all right? So that's if you don't have a thermostat. Now, if you do have a thermostat, you will also have the height adjustments. So you can use them in conjunction to adjust for your index time or your dwell time, the time of which that the pallet will be underneath the flash cure unit being flash cured. And in a multicolor situation, that's normally the time it takes you to do what you have to do over here. Print another shirt and either rotate, or print another shirt, unload, load, and rotate, okay? So, you know, that's a whole nother thing, and we're going to go into that into a new video next time. Well, maybe not next time, but in the future we'll definitely do a video on how to rotate your pallets and your print head carousel with the flash cure, okay? But for today, I think you get the gist of it. Basically, it's your height combined with your thermostat, your temperature, if you have one, and or the amount of time that you let it stay under there. And of course, the height and the temperature are going to determine how long it can stay under there before you have problems, right? So, if you have any questions about setting up your flash cure at home or working with a flash cure, feel free to go to the Catspit Productions forum and post questions on the forum about curing inks. There's a section for it, and you know, it's a great resource. So start using it. I know a lot of you are signing up for it, but we got to get you guys starting to ask your questions there so that it can help everyone. And I'd like everybody to be able to benefit from my advice and my help to you. So feel free to use the forum, but also, if you want to, post a question below. That's okay too. And if you like what you see, rate thumbs up and please subscribe. We'll see you next time.